to the F1 Show podcast. I'm Wayne, your host for the most. And this is the man in the pits for the tits, Brendan. Another round of applause.
Don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype. I do believe the hype. I'm well into it. I tell you what, I loved it. I loved the whole excess of it. I loved the fake harbour. I loved all the little carts. What are they called?
The mini mokes.
The little things going up and down in the air. I love that.
Oh, the gondolas.
That was it. Gondolas? I thought they were on water. What water? I loved it. I thought, do you know what? I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people who are like, oh, isn't America evil? It's all excess. It's all that. No, that's the way the world should be. I'm telling you now.
They embraced it, didn't they?
They embraced it. They loved it. I just, yeah. I think, people should take some notes.
Yeah.
I did.
The exuberance of it was fantastic, wasn't it?
It's a celebration. It's a celebration. And it looked like the whole race was done in like a theme park. It was amazing.
Or a B&Q car park if you're, the 7-time world champion.
Is that what?
But hey, like the Murphys, he's not bitter,
Oh no, I think they had a good Grand Prix here. They had a good Grand Prix.
A great Grand Prix
Considering, yeah. So we should just get straight down to the business end. Yeah. We'll get down to pit talk.
Oh, no having a laugh.
I've got no having a laughs today.
Okay.
Do you think I should have? Did you pick up on any mistakes apart from the usual?
Loads of them. It's just which ones you just.
Well, you have to write them down and send them to me, and I'll make my apologies, won't I?
Okay, I'll keep notes this time.
Keep notes of all my mistakes. Okay.
I'll email them to you after the podcast.
Email them to me. Goes corrections for next week, please. Right. Okay. Are we ready for pit talk? Where do we start?
Well, I think one of the biggest talking points in the pits was Mercedes upgrades and what could happen. The hype beforehand is it an upgrade package or is it just a low downforce track package, or what are they bringing? There was a lot of excitement about that. So let's talk about how you think it worked out, and then we can talk about what they actually did and
how I think it worked out, and the way it was explained to me on various other interviews, and that is the more the track got rubbered in, the worse it got for Mercedes. So Friday practice, it wasn't as rubbered in, and they had hardly any porpoising. And the more the track developed over the weekend, the worse the porpoising got. So all the models in the simulator, oh, look at that furrowed brow already. I know that they've got
research, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this.
Look at this, eh? Not just about old timers, am I? No, the way the upgrades worked in the simulator suggested a certain time, and they were knocking about that area on Friday practice. But the more the track got rubbered in, the more the track changed, and the more grip that got laid down, the worse it got. Because then the more grip, the more downforce. That's the way I was. That's not to talk about the upgrades, but I've got a feeling you want to talk about these upgrades.
No, but it's all part of the whole thing, why it happened, and is how it happened, why it happened, where it happened is all good points for discussion. Where the differences between Friday and Saturday, I heard George Russell talking about this, and he said it was because the wind direction had picked up or had changed slightly.
Hello.
The wind direction had changed and had picked up, so they were getting more wind in different areas. It was either when they're into the wind, the porpoising was higher because they were getting more downforce, but then when they turned the corner and the wind was a different direction, it was all over the place and it was creating all kinds of problem for them, which basically points to an unbalanced car. That it needs to be balanced. so they can deal with all weather conditions, because they don't just drive in one line. This isn't IndyCar, you know.
Yeah. There was still an element of IndyCar about it. I think I could sense.
NASCAR, sorry.
Well, a little. When they got
it?
the safety car, I think the crowd probably loved that, because that's a more of an IndyCar kind of thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You get a lot of safety cars there. So go on.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the upgraded package from Mercedes? We're going straight to Mercedes. Forget who won the race or anything, you know.
Yeah.
Because I actually think Mercedes is a more interesting story than a lot of the other teams, even Red Bull and all their slight issues. But go on, yeah.
They're unacceptable issues.
Hey.
I think it's if you read the description that goes with the images of the upgrades that were brought and that we're going to show. If you want it, can you bring those 3 pictures up?
I've got 4 pictures here. Which one would you like first, sir?
Bring up the Mercedes side by side ones, the Jeddah and the Miami.
Here we go.
The nose on picture.
Yeah.
That shows you the difference.
Oh, these are lovely big pictures as well, aren't they? You've done very well this week.
We're kind of getting a bit better at this, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. So let's do that. All right. So
Andrew Chauvelin, who's Mercedes trackside engineer. No, not that one.
They're 2 things side by side, aren't they?
The nose on shot of you probably haven't noticed that it's 2 cars.
No, I haven't.
There you go. That's 2 cars.
Okay,
click on that one.
This.
There you go. Right. Full size that one. There you go.
Wowzers. Right.
So on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to work in all formats, isn't it? The one with the yellow overwheel wing, shall we say, right? Everyone can see that.
Yeah.
Is the Jeddah car, and the one on the left with the kind of blue overwheel wing is the one from Miami. Okay.
So this is the one on the left here. This is Jeddah. I'll put a J there.
That's Miami.
Oh, for Christ's sake! Now I can't find a rubber. I'll put an M. M. Okay, we'll cross that one off, right? And this is the one from Jeddah.
This is Jeddah, yeah.
Okay.
Right. So Andrew Chauvelin said that this wasn't necessarily an equipment upgrade. This was just a low downforce track package that they had. So this is the kind of thing that they're going to, the rear wing that you're pointing to there and the front wing, you'll see they're very different. They're going to bolt them on and off depending on the characteristics of the track. Okay, so it's a track-specific upgrade. It's not a package upgrade. So that's a little bit of antics on Mercedes' part, and I'll come back to that sort of chat in a minute, right?
Okay.
But you can see they've changed. If you look at the rear wing, you can see that the
right here,
mass of it is a lot smaller on the left. You know, the Miami wing, there's a lot less meat to it. Jeddah, where your mouse is now, there's a big chunk of wing there that's not really doing much except adding weight. Right. And it's been a problem for all the teams, is the weight that they're carrying. They're way above the minimum weight. They can shed a lot of weight to the point that
I read somewhere about 2 kilos they've got to get rid of.
Yeah,
which is a lot of weight. Yeah.
Apart from the branding, Williams have stripped all the paint off the chassis. They've got a carbon fiber chassis with very little paint on it, and it's just paint where the branding is. So
no, that's weight, isn't it?
Yeah, they've weight there. So you can see how much weight they've saved on that back wing. Yeah. And then if you look at the front wing as well, which I found quite more interesting, it's a bigger wing on the left, on the Miami wing.
Yeah.
We know, yes, this is a low downforce track.
But something's going on here. We can't quite see it in shot, but they changed something here, didn't they? On the end plates.
Yeah, we'll redirect. That was the picture you put up a minute ago.
Okay.
But it's a lot bigger, right? So low down, you'd expect it to be bigger, but that's a bit different to what they've done at the back. Yeah, they've reduced the weight, but they want the heat in the tires. Now you get heat in the back tires by spinning them faster.
Right. Okay.
The front tires by putting more downforce on them.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's why that's a bigger wing on the front there.
Right.
So you can see the difference between the two. Whether it is a low downforce versus regular downforce track option, or it is an upgrade, that's beyond my knowledge.
Well, maybe a bit semantics as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Slight upgrade.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all upgrades. You know, if you're changing the car for each track,
but then would they put
you're upgrading it for the environment?
Would they put the wing and the nose back on for a different track though? That's the difference. An upgrade is something you're going to do and not go backwards, like take your side pods off, but they might end up going backwards on that.
Right. Okay.
Which I think is, if you bring up the end plates of the wing while we're talking about the side pods, I think the when Toto was talking about changing the psychology of the car, the actual ethos of it, I think they're talking about going back to the car that they unveiled in Barcelona with the big side pods.
Yeah.
And
so which one are we going for now? This one here with the one
yes.
I previously put up, or the end plates?
So that one, yeah.
Okay.
So coming into Barcelona, obviously they've got the benchmark from the car with the side pods.
Right. Okay.
They've got the track times with the same drivers, the weather conditions, all that kind of stuff, and they can alter them so they can get reflective times. But the cars are going to be very different, and they'll see exactly either what they're doing wrong or how badly they've screwed up, or that's going to be a big mark. And then I think they're going to change from that. At the moment, as they've said, they're walking in fog. They don't really understand why they're not doing well, or why they're doing well in some times, and sometimes they're not. So
what about which one's which here? Which one's which?
Right. The winglets are the top, the end plate at the top.
Yeah.
Is the Miami.
Okay. So the finer sort of like,
and the bottom one is Imola. Now, there's a couple of things to notice. Obviously, the area circled in yellow.
Yeah. All listeners should really check us out on YouTube to check these pictures out as well. It'd be good if they could. But yeah, we can still talk.
So the ones on the lower picture for Imola look more like the cooling grills on this
doesn't look aerodynamic at all. No, this looks like an aerodynamic design for Miami.
Yes. They've been cut out, and it looks like it's trying to deflect the air past the wheel.
Yes.
So that it's a smooth. Either the diffused air goes past the wheel. So they're trying to do something there. And the other, so that's the obvious one. The other one is the swooping curve there, the sort of aero wing just above the yellow circle, that bit there. Yeah.
The swoopy bit that swoops up. Yeah. It's swooping up a tiny bit more. Well, quite a lot more higher angle
it's
here.
Very different, isn't it? It's a much shallower angle, but steeper.
For Miami.
I mean, yes, a shallower change, but a steeper angle at the end, a higher angle. So that pushes it up and over the top of the wheel, I think, as well.
Yeah.
So that's quite a substantial change there.
They were talking about, how the wheel disperses the air. That's what I heard. But you're the man in the pits. Let's have a look. So what other images have we got here for the upgrades?
There's another one about the end of the...
This is another wing one, or the back bit? At the back wing. We'll go the back wing.
This is the front wing. This is the front wing, that bottom right one.
Let's go the front wing. Let's go the front wing.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Because that's what we're talking about. So obviously you've got the end plate on the end there.
Yeah.
And we've said it's creating that downflow past the wheel and out. But then these little bits that are highlighted by the red arrow, which is again two little, they almost look like a razor blade. For those of you listening, and unlike the snooker commentary, for those watching in black and white, the red ball is the one behind the blue ball. They think that's to create the vortex.
Okay.
Now, porpoising happens because the floor goes too low and it cuts off the airflow, and they lose the cushion of air.
It's almost like a plane that keeps stalling.
Yeah.
It's almost like that.
And if it's too high, there's not enough downforce, right?
Yeah.
Because the air gets squashed out the sides. So by creating a vortex on the outside, and this is something that McLaren did really well in testing, and because it was during the wet testing, you saw it really well, was the vortex going right down the side of the McLaren car and acting like a skirt that back in the 70s, they had fabric skirts that would dangle down the side and hold the air in on the ground effect, like a hovercraft, except, you know, with a skirt with a hovercraft keeping the air in. But it was creating a vacuum. So that's basically what that's meant to do is spin down the side as a vortex, and start that vortex happening there, and then somewhere on the floor there's something else that'll again repeat it and accentuate it and make it work more efficiently. It's what they think. But obviously, without seeing it in the wind tunnel, without seeing it with a dye and you know what do they call that? The
high vis kind of dye. Did you want to look at this? Yeah. The back wing,
the rear wing.
I
think it's just cool graphics on it. I think it's just a.
Is this the someone sat and drawn this. It's beautiful, isn't it? Is that all we've got to say about it? It's a beautiful piece of kit. And I'm just astounded, and it's the first time I noticed that there's just one big sort of exhaust pipe out the back. Yeah. And I don't think we've seen that for a while. Just like a big. I kind of noticed them when they were in Parc Fermé, then they're wheeling them about. Just a big exhaust pipe at the back. Yeah. So this is where they've just lowered a lot more here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've lowered it a lot more. Yeah, what's with all the graphics on here? I didn't.
That wasn't that a discussion about they all did special liveries for Miami, but they didn't race in them or something?
I don't know. I know that a couple of the helmets were basketballs, which Martin Brundle didn't seem to recognise at all at one point. He said, "Oh, it was a special design." I was like,
"It was just Lando Norris's, and
it's a basketball for crying out loud. Can you not see that?"
I love this comment that maybe George should be wearing it because he's bouncing a lot more than we are.
Oh, I missed that one. That's a good one.
That was good banter.
So that's what we got for Mercedes.
Yeah.
What about any other team? What have we got? Anything techie talk for any other team?
So there was an interesting. This is a more rounded. This kind of involves everyone a bit more. Is the budget cap, right?
Okay.
And Mattia Benito commented about it. That he's saying that, you know, Red Bull have said that they're doing upgrades and they've brought more upgrades this week, and they had some last week, and they're obviously having reliability issues, so they're testing, they're changing, and they're rebuilding, and they're doing loads of stuff, right? And it's like,
right.
Yeah, we can't afford to do that. So where are you getting the money from? They've all got the same budget, right?
Right. Okay.
So are Red Bull just gonna keep now? Whether they've thought about it before and they've been aware of it, but he's actually come out and said it. He's a man of few words. He doesn't do the. We're certainly not in the UK coverage. If anyone's listening in Italy, please let us know if there's different coverage.
Yeah, that'd be great. We have had a couple of downloads from Italy. Whether they listened. Well,
there you go.
Right, here you go. If they want to pop us an email or a comment or anything, that'd be great.
We don't get to see his sort of public side. So for him to come out and say this publicly about when are they just going to stop?
Yeah.
Is there going to be a point where they stop bringing stuff out and that's it, and then they'll develop for next year? You know, how's that going to happen? And that's going to affect quite a lot of the teams. I think that, you know, Mercedes must be spending a fortune. And I know they've got the funky accounting methodology with Ineos, where they're splitting the technical team's time between Ineos, America's Cup Ineos and Formula One Ineos, so they're not exactly paying for everybody. And Red Bull are doing the same thing with Oracle, but there's going to be a limit. They're still going to run out of time and money. And I think that's going to be an interesting one to keep an eye on.
Yeah. What is the budget cap? I mean, we were looking
145 million.
Really?
I could do quite a lot with that.
I could. Do you know what? I'd give. The cost of just running a Formula One team.
How much it must cost to ship the container? Just ship a paddock.
Yeah, just the shipping alone would be just like. Yeah. Another thing I wanted you to maybe have a comment on is, I'm just going to share the screen. Let's have a look. Is this argument going to go away? Can you see the screen? Can you see what's going on there?
There's a lot of people commenting on it. This is for those of you listening on the television.
Oh, sorry.
This is Sebastian Vettel in his race suit.
For those of you listening on the wireless,
underpants on over the top.
It's a picture of Sebastian Vettel wearing his underpants over his overalls, which is a bit like what Superman and all superheroes do. But it's a statement.
As Ted Kravitz said, pants and piercings.
Yeah, and I noticed that Hamilton's been given another couple of races to think about his behaviour.
Yeah, but so one of his points is that if he takes his earrings out, even for a couple of hours, the hole will stay open, it's healed, it won't close up again. But his nose will close up again if he takes the nose piercing out. Right. That's one point. That's on the level of the FIA's argument, I think. Right. The FIA are saying that it's not safe. All the drivers at the drivers' meeting after Esteban Ocon's crash, and I think prior to that as well, asked for more padding to be put on the wall, some more Tech Pro to be put on the wall.
Yeah, this was a statement by Ted, wasn't it? Yeah, he said, that, they don't care about putting, that was like a concrete wall we just drove into, but they're worried about our underpants.
Yes, yeah. It's like, guys, prioritize. And yes, the new broom sweeps cleaning. Yes, this has been a regulation for years and nobody's enforced it. But listen to the room, guys. Do you know what I mean? It's not the time to be arguing about things like that.
You've started me off again. I'm going to have to I have to find something for the soundboard for my bitch about middle management. They all tackle things that they can solve. If you get a room full of people, they'll have a meeting, and this has been tested again. They'll spend more time talking about where to put the smoking area outside the office, and less time. And if the other thing on the agenda is where we're going to build a new nuclear power plant, they'll spend less time on that. They'll probably push it to another meeting because they like to deal with things that they can deal with, and things that they can't, that are too big for them, they can't deal with it. So, or things that involve a lot more responsibility, like those Tech Pro barriers. That is a fundamental safety issue, but they'll just mill around moaning about underpants and nose rings. And that's a typical thing about middle management. And I've noticed this. Oh God, he's on his. Where's the soapbox? I've noticed this in all forms. Yeah, well, it's all forms of business where I've worked in places where they'll pick up on what you're wearing at work, and then you point out something like that is potentially dangerous, and they go, "Yeah, we'll get to it." It's just like, well, that's really dangerous, or this is really incompetent. This could cause someone harm. Yeah, we'll get to it. But why are you wearing the wrong coloured socks? It's the typical thing, and it always comes up. And this is too much management. Anyway, have I just killed all conversation on this now with my?
Sorry, I drifted off from it.
Yeah. Okay. But you can see my point, can't you? You understand?
Yeah, I can. I get it. Yeah.
They'll deal with things they can deal with easily to get an easy win, but something important like those Tech Pro barriers that we're talking about, that's too much. They're too slow, almost slow and cumbersome. So like it will take them like they'll go to a committee and make decisions. I don't know. It's kind of odd. So any more pit talk there? Do you think you've got any more? You want to talk about any other team apart from underpants here?
I think Red Bull has shown a little bit of reliability issues still coming in. The sensors going off, but they had that before. I don't know.
It was a lovely exchange by Perez, wasn't it? Did you get that? The Perez just kept losing power or something. They had to reset something, and they're saying, "No, it's all good. It's all good. Keep going." I love the statement from the pit where they go, "Keep going." Well, like he's going to stop. It's a race, but they said, "Keep going," and Perez just fired back, "Well, no, I'm losing power," and they're saying, "No, you're not." "Well, I'm in the car, and I am." He's come along. His maturity, Perez, and the way he speaks now is like, dare I say it, that guy deserves a championship. His maturity,
championship.
Deserves it. He only deserves what he can win. But
yeah,
I think his maturity in that car now, and he's a number 2 driver, but I don't know. There's something about him. I don't know. Something about him. I don't love him like I love K-Mag, obviously. I'm not going to play the music yet, but we'll get to him later. What about any other teams?
I think Williams had a blinding couple of sessions.
Yeah.
They didn't get him. They didn't get Alex Albon out for quali necessarily in the right state. They had issues with the tire management.
Yeah.
I think we're going to cover the rest of that sort of stuff as we go on.
As we go on.
Yeah. I thought talking technical stuff. I think we're done for that at the moment.
What do you think we're done for it?
Unless
Ferrari.
you want to talk about
Ferrari. I just feel like
Ferrari's car is just awesome. You know, we spoke at the very start where we said about the very different side pods with the louvers in them and the kind of the valley in them, and it was either going to be the car to beat or it was going to be an absolute pig, and it was the car to beat. You know, and they've just done it right. They're reliable. It's not porpoising that anyone's complaining about as much as anyone else. You know, Red Bull, we saw some porpoising from them, but no, I think they've just nailed it with that car.
I don't know. I've got misgivings.
They were second and third, man.
Second and third is first. Second is first of the losers, mate. That's what that is. Okay, so I think it's time for a Murray. Is he up there?
Is he
up there?
So easy to get it wrong.
It's Murray there. More wise work. I've got just more out. I heard one earlier on. I was watching an old video of pit disasters, and he says this great line, and I thought I've got to get that off of the video and put it on one of his. It's a great line. Made no sense.
Great content.
Great content. So now we're going to go to good race, bad race.
Steering wheel, somebody tell him to give it to me. Come on, move.
Good race, bad race. Who had a good race and who had a bad race? Brendan, you go first. Come
on. Valtteri Bottas. I mean, there's obviously
a good race or a bad race.
He had a good race until the last lap.
Oh, did he just get spooked? Could he not work out why he wasn't in one of those Mercedes?
Team Order's got less lose past.
He looked in the mirror and thought, "There's too much. Aren't I in one of those? Oh, damn it!"
I think he did a good race. I think Mick Schumacher had a.
He's dominating that team. He's found his home in that team. Oh, Bottas, doesn't he?
Yes, he has. Yeah.
Yeah. Carlos Sainz, what do you think?
Good race after bad quality. I hope he's going to start building. You're making faces.
Oh, I'm always making faces. I've got my notes here. Okay, so I thought, let's go for. I just want to have a little word. My authentic notes, which turned to a scribble at the end. Sainz was better, but he failed in his mission objective to keep Verstappen behind him at the start of the race. If he'd have kept Verstappen behind him for at least 5 laps, it would have been Leclerc's race. Discuss. Yeah. That's his mission now. He's got to keep Verstappen off of Leclerc. And I think, unfortunately, and I don't think it's his fault, you know, it's the start of a race, but that was his job. And I think that cost Leclerc the race. 5 laps behind Sainz, backing him up a little bit. That would have been it. What do you reckon?
5 laps behind him, we would, but at the start, it's every man for himself.
Obviously, yeah. And he had a great race despite that.
But he's not had good starts. None of the starts he's had have been good, right? He's going to be bricking it, right? And when you hear about his career prior to F1, they always said that he had trouble with the pressure, that he had trouble stepping up on the big race days.
But he's in F1 now. I mean, he
and
must
he's
have
in
dealt with-
Ferrari now.
He's
And
in
he's
the big
been
boys.
working on it, but
Yeah.
it's still a big issue for him. I think you can see, and it's, it'll come, like you said about Perez. How old's Perez and how long's he been doing this now? He's what, 12 years he's been doing Formula One?
Yeah.
Now he's just coming into it. He's got the calmness, he's got the
maturity, the experience.
Yeah. Alex Albon said in an interview over the weekend that the best thing that could have happened to him was having a year out. Having a year out, but still being in the paddock and still knowing what's going on in the driver. He understands what the driver does, which, as a driver you would do, but seeing what happens in the paddock and seeing all the behind the scenes stuff and having faith in this guy for telling you that, and having faith in this guy, and the confidence in the team and that maturity that you get from all that.
It was quite a nice little interview with Alex Albon, wasn't there? I did see that.
Yeah. He's quite a good kid. I like him.
Danica Patrick.
But obviously with the original red hair is better than the dyed stuff.
Yeah.
Danica Patrick, she's quite.
She's class.
She's quite upfront about asking direct questions, and and not like
it was
not in the way that Nico Rosberg does.
Quite a nice little interview pairing her and JB as well. I like that.
Yeah.
So we were saying an all right race for Sainz. That's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Good race. We're saying Bottas, despite that last little I'm not in a Mercedes moment.
I mean, he went off the line and he hit some of that garbage that they were talking about at the side of the track, and he went all slippy. Bad
race. Gasly, what happened there?
Yeah.
That wasn't Gasly's fault, though. I would say that's Norris's fault.
Really?
He didn't. I didn't think Norris had.
I've not watched it back, but
I don't think Norris had situational awareness. That's one of my new term from watching a lot of air crash investigating videos. Anyway, situational awareness. Okay, that's why I'm never going to get on a plane again. I think Norris didn't give him any room. He saw this guy coming back onto the track. He should have been a bit more cautious. I think it was a bit of a young sort of. I don't think it was Gasly's entire fault, but it was a bad race for him. Terrible race for the Honey Badger.
Yeah.
Oh God. I can't.
Not doing himself any favors, is he?
He's not going to make it through the season. We talked about Latifi, but I don't think. There's
another bad race for him. Alex Albon is knocking him out the park. He's out, he's out driving the car, admittedly, but it was on its ascendancy with George Russell. Once Doralton Capleton came on, you could see that Williams were improving, right?
Yeah.
But Latifi has stayed exactly where he was, right? Russell was a good driver. He was putting it up there, and it was like, maybe it's just because Russell's really good, but now Albon's come in, who is a good driver, but not on Russell's level, I don't think. But he's still getting up there. He's in the mix.
Arguably, Hamilton's not on Russell's level either. Let me look at my extensive notes.
Whoopsie.
Ferrari look downtrodden, I've written. They do look a bit downtrodden.
How can you be downtrodden second and third?
It's not winning. I don't know.
Still ahead in the Constructors' Championship.
Yes, but they're close.
They're still ahead in the Drivers' Championship.
I don't know. I don't trust them. Okay, so what have I got? Perez radio, really good. Keep going. Yeah, I've said that. I've made that laugh. The top speed for Red Bull was the one that did it this week.
In the straights, yeah.
And there's one long straight and there's sweeping section.
Why wouldn't you? I mean, there's a lot of flat out. Why wouldn't you rig the car for flat out speed in the straights? It was nearly.
You might want to get onto it, mate.
Nearly 2 kilometers long straight.
It was quite good. This is what we're talking about. Another level. George Russell literally called the virtual safety car, didn't he, into existence?
Yeah.
He said, "What we need. I'm going to stay out. There might be a safety car, and then a couple of laps later, boom. What do you get?"
Yeah, but come on. It was due because all through FP1, FP2, FP3, there was red flags, yellow flags. Come quali, there was nothing. There was no flags for quali.
Right.
And then we were a big chunk of the way into the race. It's like, hang on a minute, this is a tricky circuit. Somebody's got to make a mess. Somebody's got to make a mistake.
What about Mick Schumacher? Someone told him his surname isn't going to keep him in Formula One. Someone must have.
I think he did brilliant. I think he did brilliant.
A bit unlucky at the end there, didn't he?
Yeah, him and Vettel, that was unfortunate.
And did Vettel call him the C word?
I didn't listen to it back again. I don't know. We'll research that.
We'll do some extensive research on that, podcast listeners. I don't know. It sounded a lot like he said the C word. What else have I got here? Revisions to the track. Do you think there need to be any revisions to the track?
They were saying about that chicane through the underpass needed to be taken out. It slowed everybody down. It broke up the rhythm. It wasn't flowing enough.
Lots of bouncing on the curbs as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so I think maybe that needs to be flattened out a bit. But apparently there was something to do with local legislation, or because it was in a car park, there's a maximum speed that they were allowed. So they really had to find a reason for them to rub all the speed off.
Really?
In one section.
Oh, what? So like some kind of law?
By the underpass. Yeah.
About speeding in a car park.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Yeah.
No exceptions for a Formula One race. Who'd have thought?
Apply for the license.
Yeah, I blame middle management for that.
Yeah, of course you do.
Sounds like I blame middle management. It's my own pit. Yeah.
Have you ever been referred to as middle management, Wayne? Okay, let's get on to.
Okay. I've got him. A lot of overweight Mercedes pit crew. Just as a point of is that bad? Is that bad for me?
What? Yes.
I'm not. It just occurred to me.
What difference does it make? What was the
I just
stop times?
Can
they do their job, right?
Can they do their job? Okay. I just
yes
thought,
or no?
I'm worried. I'm worried for their health.
Well, that's the team doctor's job, not your job.
Is there a team doctor?
Right? There will be, yeah, of course there will be.
All right. I was just worried. I just saw the pit crew and I thought there's a couple of them, Anyway, that really, really killed conversation there. That is no.
We need to. When we become a big company, right, doing this podcast, that's once you're straight to the HR department for that.
By just pointing out objective facts. Oh, come on. I wasn't having a go at them. I just thought and noticed it.
Have you noticed? I think
I'd want someone to tell me.
Have some female pit crew. Racing Point certainly had female pit crew last year.
Would that make a difference?
Comment on that. They were slight. Would you comment that there was smaller female looking pit crew? Would that make a difference?
You're pushing me to make another inappropriate comment. You are pushing me to make another inappropriate comment, and I'm not gonna say it. Would I have a problem with it? I would have. Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for a full female
diversity and inclusion.
Full
we race one
female.
way. We race one.
Full female pit crew. That's what I'm into.
Yes, but in our era, they won't have bikinis on.
I didn't say it. You said that. You said that, not me. I apologise to all podcast listeners who may be triggered. Okay.
Where's that picture of James Hunt again?
Yeah. Yes. And his air stewardesses. You heard it here first on the F1 Show podcast. Well, you probably didn't hear it here first because it didn't exist as a podcast back in 1976. But yeah, you sent me that. I'm not even gonna discuss that article. We've discussed it in great detail.
Well, I don't know why you're questioning it because it's from the Daily Star, which is obviously
they're the ones that called that there was a B-52 on the moon, weren't they? Or was that? Yeah, it was the Daily Star, wasn't it? Or was that the Daily Sport? It was the Sports. Do you remember that paper? You've got some hard-hitting journalism then.
I was in a. You were in share that picture. Just share that picture, just to.
I'm going to open this at my peril. It's just. This is how racing should be. I'm going to share that picture because this is wholeheartedly agree.
a major incident I was involved in was front page news on the Daily Sport, I'll have you know, with the tagline, "That's for bombing my dad's chip shop."
Wow.
And I think that's the only detail we need to go into. Listeners, if there's any out there, please comment in the section below,
himself.
send us a message, and I'll explain that.
Or even try and get us cancelled and lose our job.
Why?
So,
What for?
let's just share that screen with the viewers.
Yeah.
Let's share that. Look at that, people. Look at that. Did you? There was, there was a palpable silence there, wasn't there? There was a palpable silence. Looking at
in this season's paddock, who would do that?
Nobody.
I reckon K-Mag would.
I reckon K-Mag would. He's married, though, isn't he? Oh,
yeah.
No, that stopped him. No, that stopped James Hunt. I don't know. What do I know? So now we're going to go for what we got next. Predictions, isn't it?
We've been through the good race, bad race.
Have we done anybody else you want to have a little special shout out to? Bad race.
Let's
Ricardo.
go through one. Leclerc, Sainz, Perez, Verstappen, obviously, Russell, Luke, Hamilton, Bottas was spoken about. Ocon did really well, coming from the back of the grid to 8th. That's pretty good. Albon 9. Obviously, these are penalty applied race results. So these weren't physical over the line race results. These are penalty applied race results we're reading.
Okay.
Albon had a good race in 9th. Stroll, Alonso, Tsunoda, Ricardo, Latifi was 14th. And then Schumacher, Magnussen, Vettel, Gasly, Norris, Zhou didn't finish. So Mick Schumacher did finish.
Mick Schumacher did finish. Where? What place?
He was 15th, last car out. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 were all DNF.
Isn't that a position you're quite used to?
Yeah, last on the track, DFL.
Yeah. Okay, people. We're going to look up. We'll do the predictions, and we'll have one more Murray before we go. I can feel him up in the background there. He wants to chat to us. So let's do predictions. Time for predictions. Let's share the screen. Okay, well, this week we're just going to add up our scores from this race because next week's podcast we'll be discussing and doing our predictions for next week. Are you all right with that, everybody? Is everybody all right with that still, our listeners?
I am. If there's anybody else out there listening, please put across a view.
Yeah, any view would be welcome.
Like, subscribe.
That's not a horrible view that I've got about the... anyway, okay, so here we go.
What were you sidetracked to there?
Well, a horrible view I've got about Pickford. Right, okay, so let's see. Now I've added up our points.
Already?
From all our previous encounters. And I haven't added up these points. Okay. This is the points so far. Okay. The points so far are I have 38. Okay. What do you think you've got as your own prediction?
12.
At the moment. No, you're not too bad. You're 29.
You're enjoying this too.
I am enjoying this because I could see that I've got the winner already. 29. Okay. That's the point so far. I'm crushing you quite literally by 11 points. No, by 9 points. Sorry, Mr. Matt.
Sorry, what's your day job?
Yeah, all right, I'm a teacher. Okay. Okay, so let's do the adding up. Let's do me or you first.
Let's do you.
Oh well, look who I've got. Who did I get poll? I got the poll, didn't I? I got the poll. That's 2 points. I think you've got that
yeah.
anyway. Yeah. Oh,
We both got the poll.
Yeah. Okay, 2 points for me for Verstappen. Perez, he was in the top 10, so I got 1 point there for Perez. Second. Russell third, but he was in the top 10, so I got a point there.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing for Norris, but he did not finish. I get a point for science. I get a point. Where did Hamilton finish?
Hamilton was 6th.
Oh,
2 points, you twat.
Oh. Vettel, did Vettel finish?
No, he was DNF.
No Vettel for 7th. Alonso?
Alonso was 11th.
Oh.
No points for Alonso.
K-Mag didn't even get in the top 10 this week.
K-Mag was 16th.
16th?
Yep.
Bloody hell. Oh.
He DNF'd.
Sorry.
Couple you've missed of them. Back and edit them.
Okay. Where did Bottas finish?
Bottas was 7th.
Oh, so I got a point for him. That is a point there. It looks like a squiggle, but it's a point. And who did the fastest lap time? Verstappen got the fastest lap time.
Yeah, and it was 1:34.24, so we were good.
We were good out, but I think you've won the fastest lap time.
Yeah.
You get 1 point for that.
That's not bad, given it was a new course completely.
Okay, so let me add up my points for this race. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So
And 11. Hang on, count again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No. Yeah, okay, yeah, you're on 5 now.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You're absolutely right. So 11. Add it up there. 39, so it's 49.
If I was anyway competitive, I would have told you that I wouldn't have stopped you there and let you have the 10. I'd have
hope one of the podcast listeners.
Yeah, one of the listeners would have called in and pointed out the error. Yeah.
So you got.
Guys, that's the reason you call in. That's the reason to send emails and messages or whatever, commenting.
What's going on with his pencil? There. One for the poll.
To help me, he beat Wayne at his own game. Come on.
Yeah, you get a point for Leclerc. You get a point for Verstappen. You get a point for Perez. Nothing for this man. Where did Russell finish?
5th.
5th, really?
Yep. So that's 2 for that. Yeah. Thank you very much.
I'm annoyed about that. Science, you get a point for him. You only get 1 point for Hammy.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing for Vettel, no?
No.
Where did our friend Bottas finish? Bounce back Bottas.
Valtteri was 7th.
Oh, you get 1, and Gasly didn't finish in the top 10 in the end.
Yeah.
He was out. So what's your total? So you got, that's one big point there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're on 39. I'm a full 10 points in lead. The season is over. I think we could safely say the season's over, people. What do you think?
To quote a famous philosopher, screw you, buddy.
What famous philosopher's that?
Me. This is made up.
Hold on. Let me just let's stop sharing this screen. Stop sharing. Okay, I'm still recording. We haven't been given the 10-minute countdown. So, would you like to discuss anything else?
We're off to Barcelona next.
Barcelona.
Yeah. European doubleheader, Barcelona, then Monaco, possibly the last Monaco Grand Prix for a while.
That's not going anywhere. That's not going
Don't
anywhere.
think?
They'll make excuses for Monaco until the cows come home. They will. It's ridiculous. Doesn't matter if those cars get.
Why have they not renewed the contract then? Why have they announced?
They've played this game for years. It's about money. They did this with Silverstone. Oh, we're not going to renew. We're not going to. They don't. I don't know if they make that voice, but they do this, and it's just all about money. It's a little. There's enough money here. Monaco would need it. So Barcelona, what's the track look like in Barcelona? This might help us with our predictions. Let's have a look at them. But where is it? Barcelona. I know it's in Barcelona, but
Yeah, I am. I'll
What
send
track?
you a picture in a minute.
okay. I hope you're all right there, podcast listeners, while we
Yep.
fiddle away on the
Play
podcast.
some filler piano music, organ music. You know.
Oh, here we go. Oh, this is a classic.
Bam, 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 bam.
This is a classic circuit. Catalonia. Is it Catalonia?
You could do Barcelona de Catalonia.
Oh, this has it not been called the Snickers?
Have you seen the race distance? Oh, that's the race distance, not the lap distance, right? Okay.
Oh, okay. Download to the desktop. You said you've done that, but I can't see the picture. Where is it? God damn it. Let's click here.
YouTube Shorts on the new Oppo Find X.
What are you playing there?
Nothing.
Nothing. Save that. That's how WhatsApp is. Open. Okay, here we go. Let's have a look at this. Whose track is this? Who is this track good for? That's what we want to ask. Let's have a look.
Well, it's where everybody did their testing.
Oh,
So I would say
potentially.
people who've changed their cars very little. Mercedes are bringing a completely different car to this track, right? So for them, it's a new car on this track, but everyone else, they brought iterations of cars are driving. You know, Red Bull brought, it was the first time we saw Red Bull's car was at this track.
Okay.
Not changed a lot since then.
So when you say Mercedes are bringing a new car, what do you mean? A brand new car?
When Mercedes did the testing at this track at the start of the season, the pre-season testing, they had side pods.
Okay, so just they're gonna whack the side
They
pods
had
in
a
again.
different floor. They had it's just but different chassis. Everything's built from the floor up. You know, it's all about
Right.
supporting the floor and how all that works and the way the air flows around it and the way it seals it and everything, right?
Yeah.
So the side pods are a big part of that.
Right.
Everyone had roughly the same car shape, basic shape, except Mercedes. They were the only ones who went to race one with a radically different car.
Okay.
So it might as well be a new circuit.
A new circuit or new car? You mean new car?
No, they might as well be a new circuit. They've never driven their car at this circuit. Everyone else has driven their
Oh,
car
I see.
at this circuit.
So it's a might as well. Oh.
So they'll all know how to set it up. So I reckon FP1, FP2, they'll come straight out of the box. They'll be doing little tweaks. Mercedes will need to really dial it in like they did at Miami. You know, they don't know how the car is going to handle this track.
This looks high speed again, though, doesn't it? A lot of people are saying, look, this is a Ferrari track, but that top speed of Red Bull,
Yeah.
what are you going to do with it? I mean, I don't know. Whenever I see a track with that now, with these long straights, I think Red Bull's just going to drive off.
There's a lot of flat out on this.
Yeah. And what was interesting, I was impressed with, on the restart after the safety car, Leclerc had kept within that second with Verstappen, which gave him maybe a glimmer of hope of getting that race, the last race. And no one was paying attention to it. It was all like, oh, Perez is behind Sainz, and they were paying attention to that. And I just kept looking at the times going, well, Leclerc's not dropped back under a second, and DRS is going to open. It's going to give Leclerc a chance. And then all of a sudden, the director woke up and went, oh, well, Leclerc could, have a stab at this. It was, yeah. But this, to me, looks a bit fast. I don't know. I reckon Red Bull might have this. I don't know now. See, that's going to affect my predictions. Can it affect my predictions? Having such a
Listen, mate, you're going to be asleep between now and then. You'll forget what you've just said, and
and I'm not going to want to listen to the podcast again.
A completely different controversial argument next week.
Oh God. I meant it. I just meant it as like, I don't know. You're gonna. That's gonna haunt me now, isn't it? let's stop sharing. I need to see how much. I'm still not giving a hurry up here. We've been recording for more than 40 minutes. I mean, what's the time? Is it unprofessional to say that?
Feels like years.
It does feel like years sometimes when we do this podcast. Oh, I got my ticket through for the Goodwood Festival. There you go.
Nice.
So I'm thinking I might do a little bit of shitting, maybe print some leaflets off.
Yep. Oh yeah, I was meant to be thinking about that, wasn't I? Yeah.
I know, Murray. I'm going to take.
If any of you listeners are, in the graphic design business, you're sitting there listening to this podcast while you're doing some design work, knock us up a flyer, would you?
That'd be great. I'll go to the Goodwood Festival. I'm going to film all of it, guys. I'm mainly interested, as you
do
may
like
know.
Francis Bourgeois, whatever his name is, the train spotter that was with McLaren all weekend. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. Go on.
There's a guy, he's a train spotter, and he's got a GoPro on his head on a stick looking at his face, right? He's not the best looking guy. And his whole channel, you got to see this, his whole channel is just him going, oh, it's an Intercity 125, and he's got a camera right there.
And he's a train spotter.
Yeah, he's a proper train spotter, and they had him in the McLaren garage over the weekend. He was so excited. It was so funny.
Wow, that's cool. I'm going to take my GoPro and I'm going to be filming all these lovely old.
You're going to do it in the style of Francis Bourgeois?
What, like an idiot? No. I said something disrespectful again. But I don't. He must know he looks stupid.
Unique style, and
oh, really? Are we just going to say that's unique? Oh, it's making the guy money. It's making the guy money.
It is. You know, he did not pay to get into that paddock on his own, mate.
Someone's paid for him.
And let's put it this way.
And he's got more subscribers than we have.
In the McLaren paddock, you were in your living room, your hands down your pants, right?
Who told you? I keep telling people I shouldn't leave the window open. And
listen, mate. Yeah. Listen, you're a man, and you were on your own. So,
and on that bombshell, people, it's time to end the Effing One Show podcast. I've been Wayne, the host for the most, and Brendan has been the man.
The other guy
in the pits. I did notice. I thought you were there actually at the Miami Grand Prix.
Well,
I did see you. I did see you there. Oh no, it was George Lucas. I just get them mixed up. I never seen them in the same room at the same time. There you go.
And if anyone wants to know where Jar Jar Binks came from.
Oh, okay. So the podcast is just going to devolve into some kind of slagging match. Okay.
As the best one should.
As the best one should. This has been the Effing One Show podcast. I've been your host for tonight. We haven't done one Murray, but Murray, we're back. I've got to make some more Murrays. And you're sharing another picture of me. So let's wave goodbye to our lovely
shall we do it in
listeners.
Miami Grand Prix salute.
Miami Grand Prix salute, everybody.
Pirelli helmets.
Oh. 3, 2,